Is wealth just mindset? You've got to take it from different perspectives. I'll be perfectly blunt, because you find people that have had bad upbringing financially can be quite tight with their money. Sometimes it can be irritating because they try not to pay their way. Oh, I forgot my wallet, all that sort of nonsense. It's normally an education from things that have happened to you or happened to your parents or something. Some of that can have an impact on how you see money for the long term. In the same way, if you're given everything throughout your entire childhood, you don't have pocket money, you don't manage your funds, you don't have repercussions, you don't have ownership, responsibilities, then you're probably struggling like many other people. This is why, even with this stupid ID piece they're talking about, if you start integrating that with the banking, it's probably one of the worst decisions you could do to people that are terrible at managing money. The reason being is, a long time ago, used to get, some of you guys may remember, you used to get brown bags, little paper envelopes, and it'd have your breakdown of your wages and your tax on the outside, and you'd have 250 quid or something in it, and the first thing you did was go, right, that's the rent money, that's the electric, that's the water, that's the gas, that's the council tax, that's the car insurance, that's the car finance, and oh, there's the shopkeeping. Right, I've got 25 quid for that I can spend over the weekend, because a lot of time you just get paid weekly. Now, working that way is quite efficient because you're withdrawing all the expenses before you even decide what you've got to spend. You're not go and buy a plasma TV, or I'm going to get a new Xbox or things like that, because unless you're going to go down the route of credit cards or saving for it, you're not geared that way, because you're working pay packet to pay packet. Society has allowed people who say debt is normal. It's created the illusion of money by removing it actually from the economy, because it's digital. So if it's digital, it's not real anymore, because it's not coming out your pay packet, it's not in your hand. You're not sitting there breaking it out on the table where all the bills are getting paid and you can see what you've actually got left to see how poor you are. And wealth management can work the same way. This is why when I talk about compounding, it's not the amount, it's actually seeing compounding works. That's the key to this, is actually seeing that change, where you're used to having no money, and then suddenly you've actually started to get some traction where the money is actually coming your way for a change. But do we have to over-engineer it, overthink it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Key to it is, A, start understanding that live within your means is the key to all of it. And if you want to accelerate your wealth, live below your means so that you're actually generating more wealth. And recognize the difference between a liability such as a car, because it depreciates constantly, it's got road tax, it's got maintenance issues, it's got insurance, it's never going to pay you more than it's worth unless you're actually doing it like on mileage or something. Because even a company car, a lot of people don't realize you actually get taxed on it, and the tax actually increases over time. Have a look yourself, because you may not be aware of that, because I've known a few people get hammered with that, and the same as myself, because I wasn't notified of the tax thing when I did it. Hence, I don't have a company car anymore. I just don't need the complexities of the tax man robbing me. But the reality is, you can generate wealth. The key to it getting to a bigger place where it's actually impacting you in a very positive way long term is the ability to have some discipline of just doing it again and again and again, and compounding and compounding and compounding. You know, because once it starts compounding, if you're putting in, say, £100 a month, and it starts compounding for whatever you've got in there, generating an extra £25 a month, that's £125 a month going into your investments. It's no longer 25. And then if you've got monthly payments, dividends coming in there as well, so it's no longer 125. It could be £125.50 by the following month, £126 by the month after that. It compounds, it grows, and then it compounds on that same little bit of money, and it just keeps growing. So even if you suddenly thought, I'm giving a break for 3 months, I want to go on holiday, I want to take some time out, whatever you want to do, it will still compound with the money that's in there, even if you don't add any more money. A lot of people aren't taught about how wealth works. It's the same as a lot of people are focused on getting a bigger house, a bigger car, getting locked into moving out of your parents' place. My view is, I moved out at 19, but would I advise everybody else to do the same? I would say in this day and age, I would say have a look at how much a place costs and be a bit humble with your parents and bung them some rent. Pay them rent. Discuss with your parents if you can convert the garage into a room, so you get a bit of space. You don't, the obsession of more is about debt. The less to have more is that you spend less now, accumulate wealth, and then you can do what you want. I remember a guy that was in Richmond in Surrey. I think he was a psychiatrist, to be fair. He bought a house in Malvern for 87 or 89,000 pounds, and he'd saved for that in cash. And he used to live in a little bedsit in Richmond in Surrey for, I think he saved for, I think he said 3 years or 4 years. So basically, he lived in a small property to accumulate wealth, so that he could buy the house cash. And then once he bought the house cash, he was then commuting from Richmond in Surrey to Malvern every weekend and things like that. He got to a place where he wanted to be. He didn't buy a house in Richmond and Surrey where he needed to work, which were expensive and probably not a nice area anymore. Where the place in Malvern is up on the hills, really nice location, very, we should call it Middle England. I doubt, even with the problems with the UK, it's touching Malvern yet. But the point being is, lived small, accumulated wealth, and bought the house. With my logic today, I wouldn't have advised him to buy the house. I would advise him to put the money in the investments, wait a little bit longer, and then use the profit off the investments to put down a deposit on the mortgage, get in the house, and then get the investments to pay the mortgage off, so that he would still have the house, all of his money, and it will be paid off over time. Even when the mortgages spike, it hasn't gone up enough to, you know, outdo what his portfolio would have done for him. And that's my thoughts on it anyway. But anyway, that was just a short video just to say, a lot of it is how you think about money, it's how you see money. That's why it's only recently I got a credit card, because I don't like credit cards at all. But it's purely because I can book my company mileage onto it without costing me any money. Because I put it on there, just waiting for the payment. As soon as it comes in, I'll pay the credit card. That's it. I don't think, oh, that's spare money or whatever. Credit card, pay first. Anything left goes in the investments. So the more mileage you do, the more you'll see the portfolio go up. Because I don't see that as real money. I mean, don't get me wrong. I should be starting to save some extra money for this little girl, because she's probably got about 2 years left in her for work. But we'll see. Because I'm not being funny, where I am now, if this blew up tomorrow, heaven forbid it does, I probably wouldn't have a car in the UK. I mean, it started to go mouldy because I go back to Spain in the winter, so it was the seats were starting to get like, like get that little damp moss stuff growing on it. So what I do when I go away now, I make sure it's parked in the sunlight. Because I parked this side of the road when I was away. I need to park that side of the road, the opposite side of the road, so it gets the sun when I'm away, just to so it doesn't get mouldy. But hey ho, there you go. That's me, thrifty as it can be, but it does allow me to do stuff that a lot of people haven't done. Just a little bit of perspective if you're new to the channel. I spent nearly 8 years in the Philippines. I've lived in other parts of the world. I've worked in Oman, Abu Dhabi, Qatar. Oh, and I'm settled in Spain, but working in the UK. So I've got a little bit of a mortgage left in Spain, but I've got a house right on the coast in Spain. I want to buy a small farm or a village, which is one of the reasons I'm trying to stack some cash into investments and stuff, because I want to get to the point where I can pick up a whole village cheap enough and then look at developing that as a community project. But that's me. But I work hard, pay the bills, and then try and save some. Thanks for watching.